Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations. Previously, we wrapped up investigating the crime scene over to the left near the elevator, and then we ran into Zinc again, as well as this new character, Cammy Meal, a real sleepyhead. And we were able to ward off further accusations from Mr. LeBlanc, and we were also able to prove that someone else was in the elevator with the victim. And there's evidence pointing towards this gift shop where the murder weapon was apparently taken from here. So we left off needing to look in here more closely. Let's have a look around. The most conspicuous thing here is the absence of something. This shelf is barren, so let's look at that last. The glass in this door is broken. Perhaps it was the killer who broke it in order to take the piggy bank. But it's a bit odd that the inside of the case is so devoid of glass shards. Oh my god. Oh, I feel so awful. I'm usually a real big stickler about noticing which side the glass is when something is broken. Oh my god, I should have noticed that. Oh man, I'm off my game. Plus, the glass broke rather cleanly. What is it? I touched the glass and it cut my finger. It hurts, Mr. Edgeworth, it hurts. Please tell me you can deal with such a minor cut on your own. Some compassion, man. Is this the same man as the one portrayed by the statues around the elevator? Yeah, that's a paperweight of the founder of iFly Airlines, Mr. Hugo iFly. On the bottom shelf we have the cute one, the middle shelf is the realistic one, and on the top shelf, that's the floral version. Floral? Are you sure about that? Let me guess, you just said the first thing that came to your mind, right? Looks I hit the bullseye. And on the right... Oh. Nothing? iFly Airlines related books line the shelf. The history of iFly Airlines, the future of iFly Airlines, the 7 wonders of iFly, Fight On iFly Airlines, working name Go You Airlines, iFly Ing. The titles make it very clear that they won't be making the top sellers list anytime soon. And now, what about these books here? Oh, nothing new there. How about this portrait? No? Okay. So, the dead center here. If I deduce this, could I point at the piggy bank? Yeah. This highly conspicuous spot is suspicious. There's definitely something very unusual about this. About what? If the killer had broken the glass to get at the Mr. iFly bank, there should be shards of glass inside the case itself. Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess it'd be like that. However, there's not a single piece of glass inside the display case. No, there isn't. Which means that the glass was broken from the inside out. The piggy bank must have fallen over from the turbulence and right through the glass. Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor. I'm willing to bet that this hat was knocked off its head at that time too. Huh? That's nice. Which leads me to believe Edgeworth just really doesn't care. He's just saying things for himself, I think. That the killer took the Mr. iFly from here after the turbulence. Nice. Z. Take your power naps on your own time, Miss Meal, and listen when I'm talking.
What?
But the murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules this piggy bank out as the murder weapon. Oh.
So you mean the bank's not the real murder weapon? It's a fake?
Yes, at this point, that is a very real possibility.
But then what if when the killer went to take Mr. Eyefly, they broke the glass by accident?
The display case is locked, so that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, but there's one person who could have.
Oh, and who would that be?
Miss Rhoda, of course. I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the keys to everything.
Miss Rhoda Tenero, huh? Intriguing. Let's have a little chat, just a bit. Okay, something new.
I cut my finger on those bad pieces of glass.
Don't blame the glass for something you did to yourself. Just be more careful.
Same to you. You're the one walking all over broken glass. You sure you're okay?
I'm fine. Any glass I walk on, I crush, like this.
That's nice. Please be careful around the display case, okay? Wouldn't want you to get hurt.
Compared to the glass around my feet, the inside of the case is nothing to be afraid of. After all, no glass fragments appear to have ended up inside.
Then I guess even you can tidy up the case, right?
Perish the thought. Okay. Suppose we can connect some dots with logic. Let's see. Well, I mean, the plane shook so much during it, the turbulence, that made a huge mess of the shop, and the plane's shaking caused it to roll. I mean, these pretty much just say the same thing. The suitcase is part of the mess made, but, I mean, like, I think these are one and the same thing, honestly, the same thought, but that means they're connected, so... Yes, there's definitely something wrong here. Oh! Yeah, this is putting it together that the suitcase was not moved and was tidy up. I see.
What's with the sudden yelling?
Tell me, Miss Meal, don't you think there's something strange about these suitcases?
Oh, well, sure. They totally ooze strange. Like the color and such.
That's not what I'm talking about. Now pay attention.
Ah, you're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Sorry. These suitcases are lined up a bit too prim and proper.
Yeah, they look a bit uptight, don't they? But I guess they take after their creator, hee.
Again, that's not what I mean, Miss Meal. Don't you find it unusual that these cases are the only thing undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind. I'd sooner find an answer by inspecting these suitcases myself. Oh-ho! Upon closer inspection, they really are quite hideous.
Tee-hee. I wonder how Miss Rhoda would have reacted if she'd heard what you just said. What's wrong?
She makes a good point. It would be wise of me to watch what I say out loud. What's this? I've spotted something that's not quite right. What is so unusual about the suitcase? One of them has a stopper on it. Hey!
Take that!
This is what is so odd. What? Okay, it's the one that doesn't have it. Right. These... There's something very peculiar about these wheels. Huh? As in... There are no stoppers in place on these. Without stoppers, one would think that the turbulence would have sent it flying. And? And so, it is very likely that the suitcase was placed here after we hit that turbulence. Let's take a closer look at it, shall we? Is there something inside? Oh my... Wait. Is that a slow loris? That's a slow loris. I recognize that animal. Wow. I mean, it's a cute animal, but don't keep them as pets, people. It's cruel. Wait just 1 second. Wow, that is hard to see amidst the gaudy-ass colors, but... What's this? The wheel is completely covered in something. This color and the scent. It appears the substance in question is grape juice. But why would there be juice on the wheel of a suitcase? Wait, there's more? It would appear to be unlocked. Let's take a look at what's inside. Oh, my eyes. Ah. A piece. Ah. Oh man, ow. A piece of cloth. Wait a second. Doesn't Zinc LeBlanc wear those stripes? And it's soaked with blood. Ah, it's blood. It appears that this suitcase is very strongly tied to our murder after all. Investigation complete. So, explain this to me? What does this suitcase have to do with the murder? I believe it's pretty safe to say that the killer used the suitcase in some manner. Such as to move something, perhaps. But aren't you just talking about the cloth, then? That alone is too small. A larger item would be needed to move what I'm thinking of. The thing I believe the killer used the suitcase to transport is... What? 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 Oh. Well, I think it's either the missing cell phone or the iFly piggy bank. But no. No, that makes no sense. Maybe it is the missing cell phone. Maybe, but no. Why would that be covered in blood then? This came out of nowhere for me. I don't... Huh. We have no reason to believe that the missing cell phone would have blood on it, but we do know that the iFly piggy bank does have blood on it, so maybe they smuggled this in it somehow at some point.
Take that!
Miss Meal, wake up. Huh? Did you say something just now, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean, I don't know, but I don't think that's it. Yeah, me either, honestly. Oh, this? No, I was just seeing if you were awake. My real explanation begins now. Oh god, don't mess this up. Is she really asleep? Well... yeah, I guess it would be the missing cell phone.
Take that!
No? Wait a second. Okay, my mental image of the suitcase was really tiny. Like, maybe up to my... Like, maybe my upper shin? Wait, what's it? My thigh. I'm thinking of thigh. But, thinking about how large Edgeworth and Cammy are, like, on their sprites, maybe it's actually enough to just transport the entire friggin' body. Oh my god. They stuff the body in there, get in the privacy of the elevator, and take him out. Whoa. Something that would fit inside a suitcase that is also covered in blood. Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it? It was also wheeled over grape juice, too. But, in light of this, I'd say that Mr. Hicks was moved into the elevator from someplace else. Which means that the murder was committed at an entirely different location. So you're saying that after moving the body into the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase in here and just left it? Exactly. What is it? Nothing, just that I was thinking about what Miss Rhoda said about coming here for something. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth, who is this? Ah, speak of the devil. I wanted to give you a bit more time, but I'm afraid I wasn't able to convince the captain. I'm very sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but the captain feels that he has allowed you ample time. He says that he'd appreciate it if you could wrap it up here and return to your seat. I understand his sentiments, however, if I'm not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. If I must stop, then I insist I'll be allowed to oversee the preservation of the two sites. Under your supervision, of course. If that's your only condition, then I believe we can accommodate your wishes. I'm here to assist you in any way that I can, Mr. Edgeworth. How nice of her. Sounds like fun. We can camp out and watch over everything together. I found proof that the real crime scene was not in the lounge, and I have enough evidence to prove myself to be innocent of any wrongdoing. And yet, regarding what Miss Meal reminded me about Miss Tenero, I can't allow my investigation to end here. The truth must come to light. To be continued. No save. Whoa! Airport! Well, hello, okay. Hope Springs Airport. Wait, is that... No, dude, don't tell me. No. That's not salmonella, is it? Oh, jeez. Please, no. I know that once we had landed, I'm supposed to let the local police take over. And thanks to Miss Tenero and Miss Meal, I was able to preserve the crime scene. But I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss Tenero in private. So I'm left wondering just what was she up to? Why did she do what she did? There must be a way for me to continue my investigation. Oh. Interesting theme music. Oh, wait, no. Wait a second. This theme! No! Yeah! 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 Oh! Baby, we're cooking with a fire? Okay. So the first case brought up Manfred von Karma, and now here we have his daughter. Ooh, baby! This is good. This is what I didn't even know I wanted out of this game. But now I know that I want it, and I want it bad. Okay. Franziska, I thought you were still in Germany. I go where I am needed. And wherever there are criminals to be caught. Her name is Franziska von Karma, the daughter of my mentor, Manfred von Karma. She, like myself, is a prosecutor. Are you heading up this case? It would be a bit of a relief if you are. Don't you try to flatter me, Miles Edgeworth. I'm placing you under arrest. What? It's quite frustrating, actually. I had hoped to exact my revenge on you in a different venue. But I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day. When a disciple of the House of Von Karma would become a criminal, have you no shame? Wait, it has all been a big misunderstanding. I didn't kill the victim. A misunderstanding. I heard all about the murder over the police radio from the captain himself. You waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death. Franziska, do you honestly believe that I killed a man? I suppose I should reserve judgment until after I have investigated this for myself. I can put your arrest on hold until then. That's as it should be. I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties from you, of all people. To be perfect in every way, the fulfillment of that creed alone is all I strive for. I miss this lady. Well, I have my own creed which I must fulfill, so why don't we solve this case together? Partner? I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town. Trust me, I had no intention to. Detective Gumshoe! Yes, sir. It's all my favorites. Too slow. Whoop. Ow! Listen up. I'm leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't mess up, understand? Okay. I'll take Gumshoe. This is fine. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm supposed to guard him. A simple yes or no, detective. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. You just leave it to me. Miles Edgeworth, if you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we clear? Now then, if you'll excuse me. Good to see you again, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Boy, am I glad to see you're okay. Thank you, Detective. I believe in you, sir. You can lean on me. I'll get you through this. I love him. I have to admit I'm a bit curious as to what Franziska is up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well. In that case, I have a few questions for you. All right. Oh man, they're bringing back some old music too, man. Huh. Lunchland. Not bad. I guess it's gotten big enough to warrant its own branch shops. Lunchland. What should I go with? I recommend our airport special, World Flags lunchboxes. Only available for a limited time. Oh man, I completely forget the character's name, but wasn't there that lady in Rise from the Ashes from the first game who was all about the bento? We have a variety of lunchboxes made up to look like different countries' flags. I wonder if they're aiming to take Lunchland to the international market. This man was in first class with me. He was quite shaken up by the whole affair. Quiver, I did it. I made it the whole flight. I'm not scared of turbulence anymore. He must have been pretty scared. He's repeating the same thing over and over to himself. Okay, who the hell are you? Looking from behind, I think I've seen this man somewhere before. It's like a dagger being slowly driven into my heart. Oh god, I haven't thought about these memes in years. Okay, nom 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 nom. In Soviet Russia, world flags lunchboxes eat you. F. I don't know how to pronounce that. Found it, lol. Oh, I feel a wave of creative powers coming on. It's over 9,000 lols. For my next lead movie, it's gonna be the Steel Samurai Warrior of Neo-Old Tokyo versus the World Samurai Champion of Earth. It's gonna rock through so many boxers. So the Steel Samurai is finally getting a movie. That's your takeaway. Okay. God, I hate that man. That's the entire point of the character, so I love him. Also, I think this reveals that he has a rat tail, and that is absolutely great. What a view of the plane preparing for takeoff. Besides the turbulence, they're really not all that bad as a mode of transportation. Okay. Wait. I just noticed on the bottom screen that silhouette that's in view. That sort of like hoopy thing next to the right hand. That was Franziska the entire time, wasn't it? Oh man. Still wondering who the dude on the left is. Looks like he has horns. Kinda? And like he's pointing. Pointing is usually reserved for prosecutors and attorneys, so who knows? Wait, you don't think that's Phoenix, do you? Okay, look, Phoenix is no stranger to makeovers these days, but I don't... Something tells me that's just not him. Okay. So how's the initial investigation going? We just shipped the body off to the coroner's office. And we're taking statements now, sir. That sounds like Franziska. She was always good at responses to a case. I'd say she was a little too quick, sir. Oh, how so? I rushed on over as soon as I got word of the affair, sir. But somehow, when I got here, Miss Von Karma was already here barking out orders at everyone. It was kinda creepy, as though she knew there had been a murder or something, and had come in advance to await your flight's arrival. That is sort of odd. She did show up rather quickly and out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. Okay, I did have a theory that the murder victim might have been investigating Zinc LeBlanc for smuggling of Virginian cocoons. If Franziska is working with Interpol, I really wouldn't put it past her, a woman of her caliber. Maybe she was meant to meet up with the murder victim here. There must be some backstory to all of this. Miss Von Karma just kinda popped up at the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident. No details. It's kinda top secret, so she can't talk about it, even with me, sir. Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part was though it stopped her from talking to you, Detective. Although, I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine. Anyway, what's about all the info I have, sir? We should find out more as we investigate. Yes, it is high time to resume my investigation. Starting with talking to the people involved in this case afresh. Can I speak with Gumshoe about the items in my evidence? Wait. This one. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, I think something just fell out of your pocket. What are you... So did something fall out or not? I didn't, get a good look, sir. It doesn't concern you, so don't worry about it. My prosecutor's badge of all things. Gumshoe must never know that I dropped it. And that's why you show it, show the prosecutor's badge at every chance you can get. Detective Gumshoe, this is... Oh, is that for me? You shouldn't have, sir, but I'll gladly take anything you want to give to me. Hands off, detective. This item is related to the case. Oh. So, what about it did you want to ask me about? Forget I asked, detective. Poor guy. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that there's nothing here. Its beautiful pattern has been soiled by the blood? Says who? Beautiful my ass. For there to be this much blood on this piece of cloth, was the victim wrapped in it at some point? There's something very familiar about this fabric pattern. Yeah. Seems identical on all sides. Sorry. I don't think there's anything new or anything else. Okay, we've seen this. Or not? It's not letting me skip. Mr. Edgeworth, we've got to get him some water. Oh. This was this little extra stuff with the Gumshoe. Phew, good thing it was a false alarm, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Okay. Completely ignoring me, as usual. Oh. Poor man. Okay, we're back. Oh, I see LeBlanc left his art behind, huh? So you must be the captain. Why, yes I am, and who might you be? I am the prodigy prosecutor Franziska von Karma, and I have a few questions for you. Don't you dare, Captain. Getting friendly with another woman? I'll never forgive you if you do. What are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy. I wouldn't bet money on our dear captain to be much of a reputable person. Sure you don't want to ask the captain some questions, sir? He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he would know anything of use. Anyway, I like to leave that type of witness to Franziska and her whip. Off-screen whipping. I love the detail of Gumshoe lifting his knee in fear. Oh man, someone's angry. Look at him go. Now see here. Sorry, I'm sorry. How long do you intend to hold me? It is impossible for me to be the criminal, I told you. Mr. LeBlanc. Oh, it is you. Tell this man to stop stopping me from going. Time is money. I don't have even 1 second of wasteful time to spend. Okay. Curiously, I'm actually free to leave. Wow. Huh. Do you notice anything, Gumshoe? Anything of interest, detective? Well, I can say that I don't quite know everything about the situation yet. So I was just telling myself that I should go ask someone about the stuff I don't know. I mean, just because I don't know it doesn't mean someone else might not know it, right? Yeah. It must be my imagination, but for a second I think I actually understood his logic. Okay. Did you finish taking his statement yet? Yep, all done, sir. I do not concern if you're not done examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back. Hello. If you make a single scratch on my art, you will pay. Art? What sort of art? Mr. LeBlanc is an art dealer, so he's got a bunch of artwork down in the cargo hold, sir. There's practically a mountain of them, large and small. From folk costumes to stone statues, I sell all kinds of arts. Folk costumes? Speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat. Yeah. It kind of looks like that other piece of cloth. So let's show it off. Wait. Mr. LeBlanc, can you please take a look at this for me? Oh, it's a Borginian cloth. As I suspected, your hat is made of the same material, I suppose. Yes, of course. This fabric is so famous, orders come from over the seas for more. Oh, I wonder if it's woven from the cocoon silk, maybe. Then this is the cargo you were talking about earlier. No. My cargo this time is many gigantic. You, detective, when can I have my cargo moved? You can get your cargo back when we're done investigating, pal. The stubbornness of you police, it is no good. And it is no good that attendant refuses to exit the attendant's room, too. That attendant? I wonder if he's talking about Miss Tenero. Oh. You! I can say you have the guts to show me a piece of art at this time. But from a single glance, I can already tell it is mostly worthless. This has much more value as a piece of non-art, I assure you. You look like you have something to say. Perhaps you are thinking, like casting pearls before swine? He actually hit the nail on the head for once. Okay. What is it? Do you have some use for me? You seem not to understand. I have no time to waste. Let me put it another way. Le temps c'est de l'argent. Pardon my French. There, maybe another language would get through your head. I understood you perfectly fine in English. Oh. Wait, let's talk about Rhoda. What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc? She was taken into the attendant's room for her interview. And then they still have not come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I was finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than her. Why is Miss Tenero's interview the only one that's taken up so much time? Miles Edgeworth, you were given free rein to examine this plane, weren't you? Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Tenero. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight attendant's room. Humph. Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances. I understand. You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking, but you can't pull the wool over my eyes, Miles Edgeworth. All right. Franziska's logic. Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion.
The scene of the crime was here in this very lounge the body was discovered. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found, the only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect. Humph. The likeliest suspect, Franziska. Do you have a problem with that? No, but it's not like you to use such vague wording. You're usually a bit more absolute. I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend? Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her line of logic fast.
Rebuttal.
Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. Don't you think you're being a bit rash by simply declaring me the culprit? Humph, I like my affairs to be simple and perfect. I'll show you the meaning of both when I finish this whole thing with 3 minutes.
So, like...
Didn't, the second Ace Attorney game end with Franziska von Karma going overseas to go get some character development? She feels like the exact same Franziska I remember. I still don't know when this game is actually set. I haven't puzzled that out just yet. I don't know when this is set, so maybe it's before? No. Wait. Okay, at the bare minimum, it has to be after Ace Attorney 1. At the bare minimum. Otherwise, the lunchboxes... the Enterprise wouldn't have grown, and they wouldn't have sold lunchboxes at the airport. Okay, so... at the bare minimum, it's after Ace Attorney 1. Okay. I'll show you the meaning of both when I finish this whole thing within 3 minutes.
Hey, you say that like you're cooking a pack of instant noodles. 3 ow!
I won't allow even 3 seconds of useless testimony to be uttered in my presence. I see she hasn't changed a bit.
Yeah. What was I just talking about, Edgeworth?
But I won't allow her to send me to prison so easily. The scene of the crime was here, in the very lounge the body was discovered. So tell me, Franziska, do you know all there is to know about the crime scene? I know all that I need to know in order to arrest you. And nothing more? Are you saying there is more I need to know?
Why did you whip me, sir?
Sorry, Scruffy, my hand must have slipped. It would appear that Franziska doesn't have all the facts of this case yet.
Well, time to show her a fact about a case, ayo!
Anyway. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found... What do you mean by seen? Please stop pretending like you don't know. It's insulting. Obviously, I'm talking about how Mr. Hicks was seen calling for an attendant at 5 a.m. And then, from the time after that call until the body was found, the only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. Well, it's true that I was in the lounge the whole time. That fact alone does not make me the criminal.
Objection!
We'll see about that at the conclusion of this investigation. However, there is one thing that even you must admit at this time. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect. Under the circumstances, I suppose I can agree that I am the most likely suspect.
But I believe in you, sir. I don't think you did it. Miss Von Karma's gotta believe that too, right? I mean, you two are like siblings. Ow!
Quiet, Scruffy! Even if we were related by blood, that's no guarantee that he's not a criminal. Franziska, I demand to see some proof that you are not the guilty party. The likeliest of suspects, huh? What a roundabout euphemism. But it would appear that she doesn't yet know about the new evidence that we acquired and where we acquired it. I'll take care of the gaps in her logic one hole at a time. The scene of the crime was here in the very lounge the body was discovered. Nope. The body was moved here.
Objection!
It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all. And what does that mean? I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves that the body was moved from a different location. The killer used this suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime is not this lounge at all.
Objection!
Now who's the one rashly jumping to conclusions? Excuse me? All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That doesn't prove that the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose that suitcase as a good place to hide the cloth. I expected you would come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily. You should know better than that. Yvonne Karma is perfect in every way. But did you know that the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point?
Objection!
As if there is proof of that. Where is the proof that the suitcase was moved around? Well, it's on the suitcase itself.
Take that!
Wait. I was thinking about the wine on the wheel, but no, it's the marks near the footprints. Oh, God. Indeed, I have my answer now. That you are an ignorant whippersnapper. Whip. Arg! Or rather, that you are the unforgiving whippersnapper. Okay. My bad. I didn't stop to think.
Take that!
The spilled grape juice in front of the elevator? Yes, and I'd like to draw your attention to this area here. Where's the evidence that proves the killer dragged the suitcase through here? It's right here.
Take that!
This mark here. Wouldn't you say that it looks suspiciously like tracks from two wheels? I suppose. Further, there is also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase. This means that the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here. I suppose this means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else. I'm glad you've come to your senses.
Objection!
Not so fast. This still doesn't put you in the clear. Not by a long shot. Franziska's Logic, Part 2. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge when you beat him to death. Then, while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from, and pretended to be the discoverer of the body. Not a bad bit of logic for something you thought of on the fly. Just what are you insinuating? That I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong of a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in her logic in one fell swoop.
Right.
You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence.
No? How could I have done that?
Hold it!
And how do you suppose I was able to take the piggy bank out of its display case? As I recall, the case was locked. That's easy. If the case was locked, you simply had to hit the glass, like this.
Yow! You've shattered my heart of glass.
So she wants to talk about the in-flight shop and the Mr. I-Fly bank, does she? That takes care of how you obtained the murder weapon. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to death.
Hold it!
I thought there wasn't any of the victim's blood found in the lounge. Humph, I thought you'd say that. What, did you think I wouldn't have noticed? I think you just found a way to cleverly hide the blood splatter in the lounge. By accidentally spilling grape juice on top of it.
Oh, are you accusing me of tampering with the crime scene now?
We'll see, won't we? The forensic scientists are hard at work on that as we speak. And what do you propose I did after that? Then, while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within.
Oh, wait. Sorry, I wanted to continue that sentence so bad.
Then, while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, so I put the victim's body in the suitcase, and then, where was I headed, Franziska? That's pretty obvious. You were bringing it to first class where you could safely keep an eye on it. We're talking about this thing, you know. I'd hardly call it discreet or ordinary. Humph, annoying brat. Well then, you were intending to leave it inside the elevator. But unfortunately for you, a wrench was thrown into your plans because the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase.
Hold it!
You've experienced turbulence on a flight before. Of course. Many times. You get used to it after a while. The patch we hit was especially rough, and I passed out briefly, but only for a second.
Good thing it was only for a sec, sir. It'd be bad if you had really blanked out.
Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, blinking out is exactly what got me into this mess in the first place. That's enough of your idle chatter. I'm not through with you yet, Miles Edgeworth. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from.
Hold it!
Humph. If I really were a criminal, do you really think I would be so easily caught?
Objection!
You are certainly in the middle of being caught right now.
Yarg!
I have to find a contradiction fast, or I won't have much of my own hide left to save.
That's a good line.
I have to say you are looking rather caught right now. And I'll tell you exactly what you did after that. You loitered around in the lounge and pretended to be the discoverer of the body.
Hold it!
I didn't pretend to be anything. I really was the first to discover the victim's body. I suppose that's true. So then, you are yielding to my statements. Don't be foolish. I still insist that you are the killer, but in that sense, you really were the first to discover the body to be dead. No matter what I say, she seems dead set on making me out to be the killer. Her logic is reasonably sound, and the large majority of it reflects the truth. But there is one point about it that is not quite right.
Okay. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence. I think it's this. Taken out of its display case in the in-flight shop after the turbulence.
Objection!
The fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared. Evidence and logic. Essential tools that those who would stand in a courtroom must learn to master. Well, what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix? A fake? This Mr. iFly piggy bank is just such a fake. It is not the real murder weapon. What? The timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important, and it was taken after the turbulence had occurred. But then, what about the blood on the bank? What do you make of that? I assume it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did 3 things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. Then the killer proceeded to pick up the bank from off the floor and took it to fabricate a fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted in my personage, in my pocket to be precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Ackby Hicks. You there?
Yes, ma'am.
Other than this piggy bank, was anything else resembling a murder weapon found?
We didn't find anything in this lounge or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence. And the remaining items all tested negative for any trace of blood.
I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears your stall tactics are at an end.
But it's possible that's just hidden somewhere, sir.
Eek! If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth. Exactly what I was thinking. Because the cloth was hidden inside that suitcase, it signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence. Which means that the real murder weapon is either still in the murderer's personage, or still at the real crime scene.
Objection!
There is one more possibility, and that would be that the piggy bank is in fact the real weapon. But didn't we just... Let me finish. The killer took the bank out from the display case before the turbulence by opening the lock on the display case door. And it was at that time that the glass pane on the door was broken. I'd say that's a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you? Let's see. So that means that the killer had the key to the display case. Franziska, the person you're talking about. Not so fast, I'm not finished. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She tricked the captain and granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it is the sin of lying. Speaking of which, I recall that you also wished to speak with her.
Yes.
Very well, permission granted, but only if I can sit in on your interrogation. Do we understand each other?
I have no intention of interrogating her, but you are welcome to accompany me if you so wish.
Miss Tenero is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move.
Right on. Okay, interesting. So we can go there and there. I think next time I might want to look around the rest of the plane just for a quick once-over. Or not, there's tape. But we can certainly talk to everyone here again. God, it is good to see Franziska again. I missed her. Oh man, when it comes to the prosecutors in the Ace Attorney franchise. Out of all the ones I've met so far, Miles is my favorite. I think number 2 is Godot. Franziska's number 3. Which means, I think Clavier is number 4. Oh, and also there's Winston Payne, but he's more of like a joke character, so he doesn't really count. What I'm saying is, it's really good to see Franziska again. And if the overarching plot of this game is going to be about the Yatagarasu digging up past corruption about the Von Karmas, boy, that could get really interesting really fast. Wow. Man, so at one point, I was thinking that Zinc LeBlanc did it. Then I started thinking that LeBlanc was a red herring and that Tenera was the real murderer. But now with the signs pointing towards her, so... something feels just a little bit off. I don't know how to articulate it, but I feel like Rhoda Tenero might be being set up in some way. And maybe there's some explanation for that. We saw Cammy Meal get really jealous when the captain was talking to Franziska. This might be really stupid, but you don't think Cammy Meal is setting up Rhoda Tenero to take this fall to get her out of the picture so Cammy can have the captain all to herself? Like, that would be weird. But I'm really hoping that's the case because, man, one of my biggest issues with the Ace Attorney franchise is that more often than not, the identity of the real killer is incredibly obvious from the get-go. Like, Apollo Justice in particular had a huge problem with that. Like, it was obvious in pretty much every case. Okay, except maybe the last one. Yeah, my head is swimming with the possibilities. I feel like we might be at the tail end of this case, though, so maybe we could finish this out next time, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more Ace Attorney Investigations. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.